This week's matchup features two teams who both walked away with a notch in the loss column last week. It's the Ravens going up against the Steelers. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The leader blocking the ball, return team. Automatic first down.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
The man in motion is Brown. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Lawrence Timmons, the linebacker, there to get him down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Here's Roethlisberger, and he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th. The Steelers call here on the Aussie, Australian-born Jordan Berry now to punt this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They'll run it now with Juszczyk. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
That's taken on the 25. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. High five, baby. High five. Let's go.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle here to Coates. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Come on, let's go. Red 38.
Now a Wildcat look. It's Bell. And the gadget package there won't do much for him. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Hey. We got three. Three down.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Roethlisberger. He's got his man on the crossing route. And still fighting.
Missed.
It will not go down. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
There will always be a place for methodically march, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And now the offense operates in the red zone.
Three down.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
2nd down, goal to go from the 6. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Partner's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defenses only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
Had the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. 6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. So it's our first offensive points of the game so far, and it gives us a very rare scoreline. We don't see this one often, 5-0.
Yeah, it's been sort of a weird one to this point, hasn't it? But hey, in this league, you take points any way you can get them.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. All right, this is a guy that needs no introduction to the league. He has been around quite a while.
And it's good that they have him, because when he looks around his huddle, he may not have guys with the same experience he has, maybe some of the youngsters, and his veteran leadership should help them along the way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play. 2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. With it is Brown. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
They come out here in the eye. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Goes underneath for Bell. And he's brought down. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Steelers a 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end, and now it's 2nd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So 3rd down. They need to get to the 28 for a 1st. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Defense still needing 10 yards. Second down. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught. It's Bryant. And it's a Steeler touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
They fake the give. Here's Breeze. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And now a high kick trying to pin them back. Now Brown. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. He'll get the football here. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Wide open receiver complete. There he goes right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Their big tight end, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Extra point now by Boswell. And that one makes this a 19-point game. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so. They need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. On second down, here's Breeze. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong. He's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46.
Offside. Defense.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Breeze now on first down. He's got time in the pocket. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. His throw incomplete. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Breeze on third down. Surveying the field. Over the middle, it's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They'll spot it at the 47, so call. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right. They weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. C.J. Mosley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And quickly, they get to the line. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
1 receiver left, 3 to the right. So after the INT, it's Breeze. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And this one is right down Broadway. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Steelers are happy to be in front, and they'll look to play another solid half of football. The Ravens haven't played horribly, but will need to improve if they want to win this one. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. About halfway through the second, Bryant's the target here, capping off an 8-play drive with a TD. That takes the lead up to 12. Third down at the 36. The pass is completed into tight coverage, and this play will go for 6. Steelers up now by 19. First and 10. They're going to get to the QB once again. This will go for a loss of 8. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. Let's get back up to Pittsburgh as we hand it back over to Brandon Guy.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Steelers defense making their way onto the field. They look good in the first half. They'll be looking to carry that momentum over into half number 2.
Finish a game the way you started it. That's typically the message at halftime when things are going well. You've done everything you're expected to do. How about a little bit more of that in the second half? But be aware they may throw something different at you to begin things.
Yeah, 50% of the equation still left to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They come out here in the eye. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
On first and 10, here's Breeze. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a
now Brady's lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
To throw, it's Breeze. He's got time. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They'll go again with Bell. And some room to roam now. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Here's the fullback. This is Roosevelt Nix. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be second down.
I love the modern game, but that was a throwback right there to see the big man with football, running, knocking people aside, and picking up yardage. That takes me back to the 60s, the 70s, when fullbacks ruled the earth.
In motion left comes Bryant. A give to Bell. Look at the spin. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back. But now, I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, second-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the first. Play clock winding down. And they give this time to the tailback. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. That is caught inside the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. First and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So still in search of the first down after that last completion. Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The 13 yards that time at a first.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Well, this season's going nowhere. No reason not to go for it. And it's a rare success for them as they keep the drive alive.
Breeze now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Throwing now is Breeze. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Now Breeze on 3rd down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Oh, and the defender took some liberties there with a late hit, roughing the passer.
The league has done a great job of defining what is a late hit and illegal contact on a quarterback. The defenders really have to get in line.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Now, Breeze again. Pass incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Again, it's Breeze. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
And a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. A great read down the numbers. There he goes. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play, a pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Boswell for the extra point. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one, that didn't bother you. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And this This return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And on 2nd and 10 now. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
All right, here we go.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. He's got his man here. It's Green. 9 yards on the play and a 1st down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. They hand off to their big tight end. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
It's really no surprise to see them running the ball here. They've got the lead, not much time left. They just want to keep the clock moving, and they can win it right now.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. He's going to get the football. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. That 2nd down run a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here in this situation. They stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Let's go. Ready. Like 5-5.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Finding time. Wide open receiver complete. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. On first down, Breeze. He's got time in the pocket. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. In the completion, nice throw, nice catch. But, Charles, big thanks goes to the men up front.
They allowed the quarterback to throw out of the rocking chair, so to speak. Plenty of time to survey the field and find an open man.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Breeze to throw on second down. Can't find anyone open. All kinds of time. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Steelers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Go. You